How you doing, guys? It's me, the ALE Prince, here to give you my predictions for WrestleMania weekend, plus give you some really quick updates. Yeah, this is basically the intro. I'm gonna talk about New Japan Pro Wrestling Sakura Genesis for a little bit, and then I'm gonna talk about the ROH Supercard of Honor, NXT TakeOver New Orleans predictions. I'm gonna talk about some possible call-ups to NXT. I'm gonna also talk about the Hall of Fame and my thoughts on the class. I'm gonna talk about the WrestleMania 34 card, including John Cena versus Undertaker, but that's gonna be like a separate thing, just because I wanna kind of like get my full opinions on that. Then I'll do the WrestleMania 34 predictions, and then I'll conclude this with an update on what I'm gonna do following WrestleMania. What exactly are you guys are here to expect? So, anyways, without further ado, I guess we'll start it. As you can see, I'm clearly standing, and I'm bringing the belt with me. Something I haven't brought back in a while. Yes, the World Heavyweight Championship. Again, let's just quickly get on with this entire thing. Just give me a second. Okay, so now
match of the year contender Bullet Club versus the Golden Lovers, Will Ospreay versus Marty Scurll, and of course Kazuchika Okada and Zack Sabre Jr. If you just watch those three matches, you're good. Because I mean, you have the story of Will Ospreay finally beating Marty Scurll, even though he's sadly, unfortunately, gonna miss the weekend thanks to this match. It's like Sakura Genesis injures people. Like I remember last year, Shibata ended his career after like head slamming Okada, which was fucking insane. And then we had Okada and Sabre Jr., which is by far the biggest match of the year. If the matches at WrestleMania weekend are just as good as that, we are in for one hell of a week for sure. And of course, Bullet Club, Cody and Marty Scurll versus the Golden Lovers, Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi. That was another fantastic match. Honestly, those three are the only things worth watching. Now, the reason why I gave you, I'm gonna talk about this for a little bit is because I'm gonna look at the rest of this card, and I'm gonna go on a little rant, and I know it's like bad to attack New Japan Pro Wrestling, but it's just gotta be said. Can New Japan Pro Wrestling stop with these tag team matches? I know they have a story, but honestly, when every show is this, there's really no point in watching them. I mean, I remembered Wrestle Kingdom 12. I'm glad they don't do that. They have a gauntlet match, which was fine. It wasn't a complete pain, but like I want to see like these guys to have different matches. I know that they save like their like big like shows for like straight up like matches that people are dying to see, like in Dominion, King of Pro Wrestling, the G1, and of course Wrestle Kingdom. But I'm just tired of like these matches, these tag matches. The reason why this is a problem is because when you have the fans praising that the New Japan shows are better than WWE, then WWE is gonna see their shows, and then they're gonna see all these tag team matches, and then they're gonna assume that all we want is tag team matches. Granted, they have great stories, but you want to like expand and do different things and be creative. I don't know. It's just a little rant. I don't hate it. It's just like I get tired. Like honestly, like sometimes I don't even watch them, or I just space out. I just like skip to the matches I want to see, and that's a problem. I shouldn't be skipping New Japan Pro Wrestling if I enjoy it so much. So that's just a little rant, and that's it. Overall, the show was pretty good. But mainly just stick to Okada and Sabre Jr., Will Ospreay and Marty Scurll, and Bullet Club and the Golden Lovers. Those 3 matches alone are worth watching and worth your time. Alright, now we're going to talk about ROH's Supercard of Honor 12, the biggest ROH pay-per-view WrestleMania weekend, which will sadly not get that many views, considering that it's the same night as NXT TakeOver New Orleans. Honestly, I mean, I understand why they do this, but it would be easier if, like, you have one in the morning and then NXT TakeOver at night. I get it, they don't want to disrespect the Hall of Fame, so they don't have it that night, but I don't know, it's just, like, kind of irritating. Like, can you imagine, like, people like, oh, which one do I go to? Obviously, they're gonna go to TakeOver New Orleans, but there's some fandom in ROH that people are willing to go, mainly for the main event. The main event's probably the only reason why people are gonna watch this, but I'm actually gonna be fair. This card looks pretty freaking good. I am actually really, really liking this match card. Let's start off by talking about the ROH's Women of Honor tournament semifinals. Apparently, we're gonna have 2 semifinal matches on the show, and then a finals to have the Women of Honor champion. Which that sounds pretty cool. We have Kelly Klein and Maya Iwatani. I don't know a lot about Kelly Klein, but I do know who Maya Iwatani is. She is a pretty badass for a small girl. She definitely moves really, really good. And she's, like, pretty damn talented. And then the next match is going to be Sumi Sakai versus Tenille Dashwood, a.k.a. Emma. I'm thinking both matches will be pretty decent. Again, I really only know Maya Iwatani and Tenille Dashwood, Emma. And honestly, I wish they go to the finals and then overall just take your winner there. So yeah, my prediction is Maya Iwatani and Tenille Dashwood. And then as far as who will be the inaugural Women of Honor champion, I'm gonna have to go with this is a little bit harder because either one could win and I'll be happy. I might actually have to go with Mayu Iwatani. I might actually go with her because people already know who Emma is and she's already gonna be a big star in ROH. I guarantee you that. But if you have, like, a newcomer beating a popular, like, think about Kairi Sane and Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler was already popular in the UFC, so the fact that she made it to the end of the Mae Young Classic and then Kairi Sane beating her, she got really over. And that's what made it that match even bigger. So if you do the same thing there, because I think Mayu Iwatani is a better wrestler than Emma, that's just my personal opinion. So I think that way you show a new talent that people are not that known with. I know she has her fandom, but not a lot of people know about her. So this way it gives people a lot of chance to see her, and because other people already know who Emma is, I think this will help it out. And maybe down the road, Emma could win the belt back, or Tenille Dashwood, whatever. But either one who wins, I'll be really happy. I don't even mind Kelly Klein or Sumi Sakai winning. I really don't mind. Either way, I just want, like, some fun matches with these women. And honestly, ROH could really use a good women's division. Like, get creative with the division and have more cool things instead of just, like, do what the men are doing, like our WWE's doing. Sorry, like, cheap shot, but that's just my personal opinion. Let's just talk about the rest of this card. Chucky T versus Jonathan Gresham. I really don't know who either of these two guys are. That's my personal thing. I guess I'll go with Chucky T just because I at least kind of know who that is. So sorry. Briscoes versus Jay Lethal and Hiroshi Tanahashi for the ROH World Tag Team Championship. This one's easy. The Briscoes. I doubt Jay Lethal and Hiroshi Tanahashi would win. I mean, Hiroshi Tanahashi is doing a lot better in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Honestly, now that I think about it, why doesn't Jay Lethal go to New Japan Pro Wrestling? I wonder what kind of matches he would have with them. I mean, I've seen him have matches with Naito and Okada, I think. Maybe not Okada, but I'm just curious to see how they would book him. I mean, look at Zack Sabre Jr. and AJ Styles. Look how successful those guys have become in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Hell, even Cody Rhodes to an extent. Has become big in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Actually, Cody Rhodes is a big star. What the hell am I saying? So yeah. Yeah, but again, I'm thinking the Briscoes will win. It will be a solid match. I'm actually kind of good to see it. A last man standing match for the ROH World Television Championship. Kenny King versus Silas Young. Damn, they dropped the ball with Silas Young. This old and he still got it. He can still wrestle. Anyone could win. Again, anyone could win, and I'll be pretty happy because you got Kenny King, the young gun, and Silas Young, and a pretty decently established guy, you could say. People have called him like a mix of Terry Funk and Jake Roberts as far as how he looks. But Silas Young could definitely. I mean, honestly, either one could win. I think my personal opinion, if I were to pick it, I guess I would pick Kenny King just because he's the young buck. That's probably gonna be a bigger name down the road. So that's my personal thing. And speaking of Young Bucks, let's talk about Young Bucks and Flip Gordon versus the so-called uncensored Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, and Scripto Sky for a ladder match for the ROH 6-man tag team championships. I've seen ROH 16th anniversary. They had the Young Bucks versus so-called uncensored and a street fight for these belts. A ladder match is even bigger for me just because the Young Bucks are talented as fuck when it comes to ladders. They had an amazing ladder war with Christopher Daniels and Kazarian. They've also had last year with the Broken Hardys, they had an outstanding ladder match. So I'm really, really goddamn excited for this one. As far as who wins, this is a good card. Like either person could win and I'll be happy. I'll go with the so-called uncensored just because I heard that the Young Bucks are doing like a tag team tournament at freaking WrestleMania. I'm not WrestleMania, following WrestleMania, my bad. And like a tag team tournament that's going to be similar to the Cruiserweight and Mae Young Classic. So I don't know what it's going to be, the Demolition Classic, the Road Warrior Classic. I don't know what it's going to be called. But yeah. So I think so-called uncensored are gonna win, and plus I think they will be fine. It won't hurt anybody. Tomohiro Ishii versus Punishment Martinez. Punishment Martinez, I think he's alright. I don't think he's great. I don't know that much about him, but he is pretty good in the ring, and I am a massive fan of Tomohiro Ishii. So I think Punishment Martinez could get the win. Tomohiro Ishii, I don't know. Every time he loses, he still looks strong, which is impressive for a guy his size. But yeah, I think Punishment Martinez is probably going to get the victory. If Tomohiro Ishii wins it, I'm totally cool with that just as well. Hangman Page versus Kota Ibushi. I actually want Kota Ibushi to win. I like Hangman Page and all, but he's not like as great as Kota Ibushi. It's Kota freaking Ibushi. This could be a great match. Basically, if you haven't been following 205 Live or Cruiserweight matches, this is definitely a similar match that those guys could have, and this could be a fucking amazing match. So, again, my pick is Kota Ibushi because I think they want to push Kota Ibushi to become a bigger star. Now let's go on to the double main event. Dalton Castle putting the ROH World Heavyweight Championship up against Marty Scurll. I want to see Marty Scurll win. Honestly, if it wasn't for the main event that I'll talk about right now, the real reason why I would really want to watch this show is because I want to see Marty Scurll become ROH champion. How big of a star could he be? You know, I remember when he did the Fatal 4 with the Super Juniors with Takahashi, Kushida, and Ospreay. He was my least favorite person in that ring, but that doesn't say much because this guy was even amazing. He actually has a better character than all three of those guys I just named. So Marty Scurll has been one of my all-time favorites, especially in the Bullet Club. The Villain Club is just off point. It's just been on a roll, and I've been digging it. So my pick, it's gotta be Marty Scurll. I like that match with Dalton Castle with Jay Lethal, but I mean, you could only get so many miracles. I mean, and honestly, I don't mind Dalton Castle actually moving up to NXT. He wanted to do it, but I guess he changed his mind. I don't know what the deal was, but I don't know. Marty Skrull, I definitely want him to win. That's my pick. And then we got Kenny Omega versus Cody Rhodes, whatever it is. This is gonna be amazing. This is just, I mean, this match has been built up almost a year at this point. I mean, for ever since Cody joined the Bullet Club, he's been wanting to be the leader. He's been a shitty leader, and people have admit that, but he's just been on a roll. He called out WWE. He tried to call Finn Balor, Anderson, and Gallows, which it was just funny, and they got the whole copyright strike. So the build is just there. Cody's been trying to take Kenny Omega's spot ever since, but Kenny Omega being honestly the next big thing. Honestly, Kenny Omega's easily the best talent outside of the WWE by far. The only guy who's close to him is AJ Styles, but yeah, Kenny Omega has just been the top guy, and I can't wait for this match. As far as who goes over, this is hard as shit. But if this is the end of the Bullet Club, I think Kenny Omega is winning for sure. If the Bullet Club continues after this, or they do like a different version of the NWO, because I don't know if the All In pay-per-view is still on, so it just depends on that. So my pick is Kenny Omega. I'm picking Kenny Omega. I'm betting a lot of money on that one, but I think Kenny Omega probably is going to be the next thing. And Cody, as far as what he could do, he could get more established and at freaking New Japan. And plus, the story is written so well to have Kenny Omega win the freaking thing. It's just written there. And this is one of those moments where wins and losses do matter, but you look at who's fighting who. You got the two leaders of the Bullet Club fighting each other to get the real rights to who is the real leader of the Bullet Club. And I think Kenny Omega is the perfect choice for this. And he just finally leaves the Bullet Club. He could do his own thing. And maybe he'll go to Wrestle Kingdom 13, probably main evented against the IWGP champion, which I'm guessing will still be Okada. So yeah, you just have the whole story written right there, and I kind of just wrote on the future of ROH and New Japan. But yeah, I think this is going to be a fantastic match. And again, my pick is Kenny Omega. Those are my predictions for ROH Supercard of Honor. This card actually, now that I think about it, it excites me just a little bit more than NXT TakeOver New Orleans. But for some reason, I'm going to end up watching New Orleans TakeOver first for some reason. But I mean, if you choose to watch this first, all credit to you, because this card looks fucking amazing. Now we move on to NXT TakeOver New Orleans. I can never doubt NXT TakeOver. NXT TakeOvers are always awesome to watch. This one, at first it was like, okay, it's gonna get like the similar things. Once we announced that we having Cien Almas and Black and Shayna Baszler and Ember Moon again, I was like, I don't know, TakeOver might not be that great. And then I saw the rest of the card, and I'm pretty impressed. And let's just start off with the North American Championship match. Sorry, Triple H earlier today showed us the new belt, and it looks pretty damn cool. Again, I'm not digging the whole color freaking belts. I'm fine with them being black, but I don't know. It kind of looks like the Tag Team Championship, the ones that we have now, but when they were pennies, not nickels. But overall, I think this is going to be the second best match of the night. And we have Adam Cole, EC3, Killian Dane, Lars Sullivan, Ricochet, and the Velveteen Dream. Fuck it. I don't even know who could win. If I were to pick, I'll probably pick Ricochet. Honestly, Ricochet is that would be an amazing debut. He debuts as a champion. His first match, he becomes champion. He becomes a a strong champion. And imagine all the great matches he could have with anybody here. Velveteen Dream, future call-ups. I don't know who's coming to the roster soon. Pretty sure we'll find out down the road. But Ricochet is a guy who has some amazing talents, and this guy is just a star. He looks like a star. Even though I like him more as Prince Puma, Ricochet is still one of the best wrestlers working today, and I think he is the right one. Lars Sullivan and Killian Dane are feuding with each other. Velveteen Dream, I actually see him being called up to the main roster. Adam Cole, not gonna lie, I'm not digging Adam Cole with the Undisputed Era. I actually kind of want him to split from that and try to become his own dude, or head over to 205 Live if he's qualified to be up there. And EC3, I like EC3 a lot, but he is beyond a mid-card championship. This guy is a superstar. He looks like a star. He acts like a star. Hell, if he loses this match and gets called up right away to the Andre Battle Royal and wins it and joins the main roster, I mean, it makes sense because this guy has got it all. Granted, people saying that WWE dropped the ball with the guy, but him as Derek Bateman was just awful. It just was. So it was cool that he left to go to TNA and become an even bigger star. So, in a way, that was good. But yeah, now I'm really digging. This is probably going to be, again, like I said, it's probably going to be the second best match of the night. I'll talk about what it will be the match of the night. Next match I could talk about, Undisputed Era, Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly, because Bobby Fish got injured, sadly. We'll take on the Authors of Pain, Roderick Strong, and Pete Dunne. I think the Undisputed Era is going to keep the titles. I think they're going to save the titles until War Machine debuts or something like that. I actually thought that War Machine was going to fight Authors of Pain in this show, but I guess not. So, I'm guessing that will happen. As far as the match goes, no one's talking about this match. This is probably going to be another great match on the show, if anything. This is probably going to be one of the more exciting matches out there, and that's saying a lot because, I mean, no one's talking about it. And, again, who knows? This could be like show stealer. Again, Undisputed Era is pretty obvious that they're going to win. Roderick Strong and Pete Dunne could win it, but I do see him going to 205 Live after this, and Authors of Pain need to leave NXT. They've been in NXT for too long. There's nothing else you could do with them. Their streak is gone. There's nothing for them. So I just sent them to the main roster. I know that WWE doesn't want, or Triple H doesn't want NXT Call-Ups to get fucked over, but I mean, it's just life, I guess. That's just how it works. So there's that. Alright, I'll talk about this match next just because I don't really care. If there's anything I could care less about in NXT, it would have to be Ember Moon and Shayna Baszler. This is just fucking boring. This shitty story. Shayna Baszler, I'm not digging her wrestling. I know she's supposed to be like a badass, which I love her character. Ember Moon really is dull. I didn't realize it. Once she fought Asuka the first time, I kind of started noticing it, but then she had that amazing match at TakeOver Brooklyn 3 with Asuka again. And I was like, yeah, she's actually pretty talented. But I don't know. Something about Ember Moon I'm not thinking. First of all, she is not a babyface. She is a natural heel. She looks like a heel. She looks like a tough woman. But I don't know. I'm just not thinking her. And the whole idea is that she's supposed to be like a goth or from Twilight and shit. And she's like training backstage and doing interviews. It's just weird. And it just doesn't fit her character. That's just my personal opinion. I'm sorry if people are getting mad. I don't know. She is great in the indies. She was great in the indies. She had great matches. But I don't know. Something about Ember Moon is missing. If anything, what I would have done at TakeOver Philadelphia is have Shayna Baszler win. And then Shayna Baszler beats the crap out of her throughout NXT. That she injures her. Then we have Kairi Sane and Shayna Baszler here. Kairi Sane gets the belt. And then have Ember Moon turn heel and then work that feud throughout NXT. That would have been a lot better, but I'm alright. It's just like whatever. And the fact that Kairi Sane is not even involved in this is just sad. If anything, I would have made it a triple threat. I know there's another triple threat in there, but again, I understand that NXT is not trying to copy what the main roster is doing. So I understand that. But yeah, I really am not looking forward to this at all. As long as Shayna Baszler wins, I'm good. I actually want to see Shayna Baszler win the belt and have a qualified heel badass champion. One that's believably threatening, personally. Next match I'll talk about Aleister Black versus Andrade Cien Almas for the NXT Championship. Who the fuck else do you think is gonna win? Aleister Black. He's gonna win it. If Almas pulls a victory, I'm gonna be so freaking shocked. But yeah, Aleister Black is definitely this is his moment. I'm pretty sure he's gonna carry it throughout NXT and so on, and have amazing matches with the upcoming teams like I mean not teams but like team players and NXT. But so it's pretty obvious that Aleister Black is gonna win. I am looking forward to the match as far as like what kind of story they will tell. Like, is Almost gonna play mind games? I want to see how Almost tries to beat Aleister Black. I want to see how that works. And if he beats him, I don't know what the hell they will do. But yeah, Aleister Black is definitely the easiest pick, and it's probably gonna be the right pick. Now let's get on with the match everybody's talking about. Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. Honestly, this is the only match I really give a shit about. Other than the North American Championship ladder match, and to an extent, the tag team match. This match, holy shit, an unsanctioned match. Now, hopefully this is a proper unsanctioned match, unlike Seth Rollins and Triple H last year, where they show up in freaking wrestling gear. They had entrances. They had a pinfall victory. It was basically a no holds barred match. Just called it an unsanctioned match just to overhype it. But I hope this is an unsanctioned match. Basically, them in freaking street clothes. They beat the crap out of each other. I doubt they'll have blood, but it would be awesome. This is just going to be a kick-ass match of the year. Contender for sure. It's probably going to be one of the biggest show stealers of the weekend. And as far as who goes over, I think Ciampa needs to go over. It will give him massive heat, and if he beats the NXT champion, which I'm guessing is Aleister Black, that would be even bigger for NXT and Tommaso Ciampa being the real proper heel champion out there. And then when Tommaso Ciampa eventually does get called up to the main roster, we could redo Gargano and Ciampa, and then we'll probably build it all the way to like a WrestleMania or a SummerSlam, and finally have Johnny Gargano beat Ciampa. Because this is just written like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, the Fight Forever feud. And this is definitely going to be the beginning of the matches that are yet to come on the main roster. So this match alone is probably going to be the only real good thing. And Ciampa, I think, could win it. If Gargano wins, I'm totally fine with that. But Ciampa winning, holy shit. Let's go. So yeah, that's my personal opinion on the card of NXT TakeOver New Orleans and my predictions. So there is that. Hope you guys enjoy that. But let's move on to our next topic here. Alright, this is going to be a quick topic, but I should just talk about it just because. Let's talk about some NXT Call-Ups I could see happening. For sure, the Authors of Pain after WrestleMania, they're out of here. I was thinking Sanity could come up, but I don't know. The fact that they're building up like Killian Dane being his own dude, it would be weird like not bringing everybody. And plus, I really don't want to see these guys getting fucked over. And I don't know. I could see Killian Dane being Braun Strowman in the sense that he gets split up from the Wyatt family, and the Wyatt family does become nothing. Which sucks because I like Alexander Wolf. I didn't like him at first, but I'm digging his wrestling skills. And Eric Young has improved a lot. I never liked the guy. I never did it. I thought he was always lame. But ever since he joined Sanity, I've been digging. And Nikki Cross, not only is she fucking hot, but she has a character. And she just is probably the most over. She honestly doesn't even need Sanity. She could, her being part of Sanity is just a bonus of everything she's done. Basically, they took a bunch of nobodies in the indie scene and made something great with them, which is awesome about NXT. with that said, I do not want them being called up just quite yet. I actually want to see like a more with them in NXT. I could totally see them having more stuff to do in NXT. Velveteen Dream, I could totally see him being called up. He could probably be like Elias getting over with the crowd. I would love to see that. I definitely don't want to see this guy getting fucked over, but it probably will happen anyways. Roderick Strong, he's already in 205 Live, so there's that. Cien Almas, if he loses, I could totally easily see him coming straight to the roster like Bobby Roode did once he lost the NXT Championship. So I could totally see Almas coming up. And from what I hear, McMahon really likes him, so I'm actually curious with him. Because Almas, I've been digging a lot. At first, I was like, he's alright. But ever since he was with Selena Vega, he's just been over his shit, so I've been digging his character. I brought up that EC3 could be called up right away because he's beyond the NXT roster, but I get that I want to screw him over, so I can't wait to see that if he does come in. That's just probably wishful thinking for me, but that's just my personal opinion. No Way Jose, he's not doing shit, so I guess you could bring him in. Might as well throw him on SmackDown because we need jobbers or something. I don't know. I'm not digging No Way Jose. I don't even think he's still hired, to be honest. I don't even know if he's still hired. I don't know. Cassius Ohno, I could see him coming up. However, he could easily be the Wesley Blake of NXT, where he never shows up to the main roster till like 205 Live, which Cassius Ohno is far from getting into 205 Live, especially after his way. I don't know. I really don't see Cassius Ohno ever showing up to the WWE main roster. If anything, I could easily see him leaving NXT and just honestly just retire. No, Chris Hero still got it. He still has some classics in him, but I don't know. He's just like, ever since he got fatter, he just doesn't look right. People have already made fun of the dude, and it's just like super sad. But if he does come up to the roster, let's see what they do. Let's see how long it will take him to screw him over. Johnny Gargano is definitely a guy I could see calling up right after Ciampa if he loses. Gargano, if he goes to 205 Live, I actually don't mind that because 205 Live is honestly the only thing worth watching right now in the main roster. That's about it. There's two people I left out because I wanted to talk about these two wonderful ladies right now. The iconic duo. Holy shit, these women are over. There's already talks that they're backstage on Raw and SmackDown, so if they get called up, I am all in. I want to see what they do. They could be a better Lay Cool, if anything. I know Michelle McCool and Layla, they did the original thing, but I don't know. Billie Kay, Peyton Rose are, personally for me, they're a lot better. Hopefully they don't get too annoying. But I've really been digging their characters, and since they're not using him in NXT, it's pretty obvious that they're getting called up now. And I don't know, the kind of matches they would have, because Peyton Royce is the real MVP of this duo. Billie Kay is good, but she's not that great in the ring. But I don't know, Peyton Royce, I'm actually curious to see where they go with her, because honestly, Peyton Royce is the real MVP of this group. So I'm really gonna dig what they do with her. So that's it for the NXT Call-Up. Let's just move on. Okay, I was gonna talk about the Hall of Fame, but because one, I'm low on time, and two, there's really nothing else to talk about except anybody who's in the Hall of Fame should be proud about being in the Hall of Fame. So I won't talk about the Hall of Fame. What I will talk about real quick is the whole John Cena Undertaker thing that happened. So John Cena for weeks has been calling out the Undertaker, calling him a bitch, calling him this, that he's begging, and then he says the reason why I don't want to fight him, why I want to strictly fight the Undertaker is because I'm not. If any of us lose, we got nothing to lose. We're the two of the biggest names out there. The fact that we never fought at WrestleMania is bullshit. And basically, he talked about the card. He talked about him being a fan. We thought there was a slight bit of hope that the Undertaker would show up on SmackDown and call out John Cena there, but I guess not. I'm curious to see if they actually do pull off the whole Undertaker comes back as the American Badass at WrestleMania, pulls John Cena from the crowd, and they call him out. The thing about this is that if this match was to be announced, it needed to be the main event. That would be the best way, because the only way I could see WrestleMania being so big is if they close the show, because they need a strong crowd for a main event, and Brock and Reigns are not gonna do it. If anything, they're gonna boo the shit out of the whole match, or just be silent for most of it. But I'm curious to see where they go with this. It could be something creative and brand new. I like that WWE is at least taking a risk with this. However, I really wish they just announced that this match was gonna happen. If anything, why didn't they just do Samoa Joe and John Cena? Samoa Joe is clear. Why didn't they just do that? That would have been much better, and a better send off to Cena after, not promoting blockers and probably joining the DCEU if it's still around. But yeah, that's just my personal opinion on Undertaker Cena situation. But let's just move on to what you guys really came to see.